This is the Amos Madrup Show.
Hello and welcome. Joining me today is Simone Girardeau, who's the co-founder of Lockdown Presents, an organisation that is helping out-of-work musicians earn a living. I'm also joined by Sophie Dicks, who is a professional, classically trained musician, supporting and performing online for care home residents for Lockdown Presents. A very warm welcome to both of you. How are you guys doing?
Hiya, thank you so much for having us. Doing good, thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Simone. I appreciate. I know that you're quite far away. I believe you're in Canada. Is that right?
Yeah, we're in British Columbia for the year, so it's 7:30 here.
Oh wow! Are you snowed under, or how are things over there? Is there snow?
A good amount of snow.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Just rain for us here in Manchester so far. Sophie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm in Cardiff, so I've got all the rain as well. So yeah, I know the feeling.
Fantastic. So a warm welcome again to both of you. Simone, can I just start off by asking, what is Lockdown Presents and where did the idea come from?
Yeah, absolutely. You did a good job of describing it. So we offer live virtual concerts from professional musicians who've been obviously impacted by the coronavirus lockdowns, and a lot of them have had a lot of work cancelled through the year. So you can book a virtual concert over Zoom for any person really. So we've done lots for birthdays, anniversaries, we've had work events, and then since summer we've started to see quite a lot of interest from care homes and care home residents. So we've performed for people really all over the world in different circumstances. The idea came about actually from me effectively booking a lockdown present gig without it existing for my granddad's wife's birthday back in April, because we wanted to do something special given it was the first lockdown and it was her 83rd birthday. And my friend Abby is an incredible cellist and lives with her partner who's a viola player. And so we asked them to perform a classical gig for Mags's birthday over Zoom. And it just went so well. She was so thrilled. I mean, the messages that she sent me afterwards had about 100 emojis in them. And Steph, my partner, is quite techie. And so we were out for our sort of daily walk and he was like, we could build this into something we could offer other people. And so we thought it would be very quick and easy. And so we sort of just got started from there, really.
I mean, it's fantastic the way the whole idea started. I mean, just speaking to some people today, and I think it's this, for me this year in particular, it seems that a lot of people were giving so much of their time just out of goodwill and wanting to do good for people. And as a result, something's come out of it. A new business has started. So it looks like from just wanting to do good for your family, this whole Lockdown Presents was born. And, you've gained a lot of traction. There seems to be a lot of interest from media companies. How's that gone for you?
Yeah, it's been really nice to sort of get the word out more recently, because I think in the beginning, a lot of it was through word of mouth, family and friends, which was great, but it meant that it's actually quite slow going. You put all the work in to build the business, and then I don't have a marketing background at all. You suddenly realize, oh, it's actually quite hard to get people to hear about this. But all the reviews we were getting were so positive that we thought, okay, there's something in this and people really love it. The reactions that we get, people were saying this is the best thing that's happened to me this year. So we're like, we can't stop doing it. We just have to carry on and sort of keep trying. And as that word of mouth kind of slowly spread, and then we got picked up by a few media outlets, it's made a huge difference. I'm sure Sophie will say she's had a quite crazy December in terms of bookings.
Yeah. Sophie, how's it been for you? What's your experience been like so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. I think I speak for all of us artists that are on board with Lockdown Presents, that we couldn't be more grateful to Simone and Steph for providing us with performance opportunities, because as you know, when the pandemic hit in March, all of our diaries were completely, everything was cancelled. There was more cancellations coming in every day, and we as artists we had no reason to be getting out of bed and playing our instruments and singing and practicing and working towards something. So it was actually so nice. I remember the first one that I did, I actually felt nervous, and I was like, I've not felt nervous for such a long time, and it was a nice feeling. So no, it's just been really good to have things to prepare for and to perform for people and see their reactions and get lovely feedback. And yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. And as Simone just said, these past few weeks, it's really, you know, gone up a notch, and I've got loads in the diary for next week. So no, it's really lovely. Every single one that I do, I come away and I say to my partner, oh, they're all just amazing. Everyone's so grateful for it, because no one's been able to experience live music this year. And even though it is over Zoom, people still do get that feeling that you do get from watching live music. So yeah, it's been brilliant.
So as the vaccine begins to get rolled out and things start to go back to normal again, is this something, Sophie, you think you could carry on doing? Would you like to carry on doing this sort of presentation?
Absolutely. I think it's opened up an entire new world of opportunities for us, because not only are people in lockdown, a lot of the people that are on the Zoom calls more often than not are in other countries. You know, family get-togethers, family birthdays, and there's people from all over in these chats. And I think, why not continue it? Why does it have to be just for now? And I think as well, with what we were saying with the care homes, you know, we can Zoom in from anywhere. We can go to any care home. And I just think it could be, you know, something that you'd have not on the high street, or, you know, a unique gift that we could have forever. So I don't see why it should have to stop. And I'd certainly, you know, I will happily do gigs in my slippers forever.
Simone, you mentioned that it's obviously now international, you're reaching wider audiences. How far is Lockdown Presents going?
In terms of the audience,
geographic distances, how far are you reaching out to?
I'm trying to think. I mean, we've had a couple of Australia gigs, which are the hardest to manage time zone wise, because usually I see the inquiries coming into the artist saying, would you mind performing at 8 a.m? Because that's going to be the only time that sort of works for both parts of the family. And people, to be honest, they don't mind any time of day you can work in this lockdown. So yeah, we've had a choir group who booked this weekend, where there was one lady saying she was waking up at 1 a.m. to join from Hong Kong with all her friends in Wales. So she was very dedicated. The artists are mostly US and UK. We have got a couple in Europe, just partly because that's where our networks have been, really. So yeah, we're open to artists from all over the world, but bookings, you get people dialing in from absolutely everywhere. I think people don't even think that's strange anymore.
Yeah.
It's quite fun.
And does it have to be live, or is that what makes it unique, or could it be pre-recorded?
Yeah, so we do have a pre-recorded option. I don't know if you've heard of Cameo, but we were sort of doing the live gigs, and they're a huge company with these celebrities, and they do pre-recorded birthday messages. And we noticed they started to do live gigs, and we thought, actually, that's a really good point. We could do pre-recorded messages. Yeah. Because we had one person who said, oh, I can't figure out when my mum is free. Could we send her a message? And Sophie actually did a recorded message for them as our first kind of test case. So you can also book a recorded message that you could send somebody. It tends to be just a few minutes, because that sort of, you know, they can share a personal message, maybe sing a favorite song. And we've had a few of those for birthdays, and also a sort of romantic, you know, oh, could you send this love song to my partner across the world because I haven't seen them in months. So that's another little offering that we do have.
That's incredible. I mean, what more could anybody want than having that, you know, for a birthday present or as a gift to a relative? I think that's what makes it very unique. So what's the plans for the future for Lockdown Presents?
So I think, as Sophie said, we definitely started it thinking it was just going to be for a couple of months even. It was actually a friend of ours at a similar time had started something called Lockdown Haircuts, because, you know, everyone couldn't get their hair cut back in lockdown. And so this was a barber would talk you through how to cut your own hair over Zoom. And that was obviously very much just kind of for a couple of months. And then we started to get all these people messaging us saying, please don't stop this. You know, my mum hasn't been able to go to the opera live in years because she's infirm, or people who live in the countryside and can't get into London, or, as Sophie said, loads of people who live in different countries. So now that we've had so many people say, please, you have to carry this on, we're sort of trying to figure out what's the model for us to continue doing this next year. We'll definitely carry it on in some shape or form. Steph and I both have sort of paying jobs on the side, because at the moment this has all been for charity. But now that demand's starting to pick up, we think that we can make a sustainable sort of business out of it and carry on scaling it, really. There's so many music fans who just love that it's such a sort of intimate experience. Like, somebody sent a message yesterday saying this was better than being on the front row in a real concert, because I could actually have a conversation with the musician. And that's just something you can't, you know, it would cost you a fortune if you had to pay Sophie to come to your house and do that. So this is a way of making that accessible.
And that's what makes it very unique. And I think with everything that's happened, I think a lot of people are going to want for this to continue. I can only imagine demand will continue to surge, and there'll be lots more people wanting to do this. Sophie, how about yourself? What's your plans for the future?
I think, like Simone said, you know, I'll happily do this for as long as it possibly can go on for. I mean, you know, I am hopeful that work will start coming in again soon for you know, to be performing live, and there is something in the pipeline for next summer. But I think, you know, who knows what's around the corner. I remember in March we were saying, oh, it'll be fine in September, it'll be fine at Christmas, and then here we are now. So you just don't know, do you? So I just think, you know, I'm just so grateful that I've got this, you know, to keep me singing and to keep me working and everything. So yeah, you just don't know, but I will happily stay on board with these guys for as long as we can.
I'm also hoping, because with performances, I guess they're typically quite concentrated time periods, or it's the evenings, whereas a lot of these are maybe lunchtime. So I sort of feel like it could, oh, sorry, I'm choking.
It's okay.
I don't know what I'm breathing. Yeah, it sort of feels like it could fit in quite well amongst the way performers work anyway, with lots of different projects on.
Yeah, definitely. And again, you've got something great here, which can be continued, you know, once we come out of this whole pandemic and everything gets back to normal. Things have changed, and this concept is definitely something that I believe will stick around for a very long time. So, Sophie, how can people find out more about you? How can we find you on social media or wherever?
Well, I'm on the Lockdown Presents website. I've got a profile on there, but I'm on Twitter. I've got a website, sophiedicks.com, Instagram. I'm on every channel.
It's everywhere.
And Simone, can you tell us how we can find out more about Lockdown Presents and where we can find out more information?
Yeah, absolutely. So the website is www.lockdownpresents.com, or presents. People keep asking me which way round it is, but it's because it could be a gift. Yeah, I love that people have different ways of talking about it. It's Lockdown Presents, like as in a gift, but it's also Lockdown Presents, as in here's your person on the stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, lockdownpresents.com has pretty much everything, and then we do have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. We sort of post little videos of performances that have happened, and share all of the exciting media coverage. So actually some of our best recordings of performances have been when Radio 4 or the BBC have recorded something, because then we get better quality recordings than I could ever do myself. So that's been great.
Yeah, and I've heard Sophie's recordings as well. Absolutely fantastic. So definitely worth listening to. So I definitely urge the audience to go out and listen to that and to check out your website. So I just want to say thank you very much indeed to both of you for coming in, taking the time to sit down, talking to us in these difficult times, finding a way through. And, you know, Simone, what you've done in terms of giving an opportunity for artists like Sophie to still be able to work is incredible. And that started out with something that you meant as a charity gift to your family, but has now ended up in something that's sustainable and something that is good business moving forward. And Sophie, for yourself, I think it just gives opportunities for people who might not have heard about, say, some of the things that you've done to learn more about your music and what you do. So again, it's a great opportunity for everybody involved, and I just want to wish you both the very best and say thank you very much indeed for taking part in our show here today.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Amos Madra.